Now when you use coconut oil, this is what happens. This is coconut oil. This is the coconut oil that has got in. When you are trying to moisturize your hair, putting water or spraying water to your hair, this is the hair shaft. This is coconut oil. When you're trying to moisturize your hair, the water is not going to get in because it's filled up with the coconut oil. I'm going to show you why your hair actually hates coconut oil. In today's video, I'm going to show you why your hair actually hates coconut oil. This is the coconut oil. This video might make you to reconsider whether to use coconut oil or not. Whether you are high porosity hair or low porosity hair, I'm going to share deeper information with you. You don't want to miss this video. This might be your game changer, this video. So please keep on watching to the end and see why your hair hates coconut oil. Hello my lovely people, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, I would only request you to do only 4 things. Even if you are my returning subscriber, like, comment, subscribe, and also turn on your notification bells to all, so that when I drop a new video, you will be immediately notified by YouTube that I have uploaded a new video. I'm also going to say a big shout out to my members for being members. That actually supports me as a YouTube creator. Thank you so much guys for being members, and I'll leave their names right on the screen. I want to say thank you so much. If you also want to get shout outs and if you also want to see your name on the screen, you have to join in the link below. Click in the link below and it will tell you everything what you must do to become a member. Let's get right into today's video. Okay. These are the signs that you must watch out for if you see that your hair is not loving coconut oil. I'm gonna talk about how your hair strand is actually structured, okay? So your hair strand is made up of 3 things. The first one is the cuticle. So that is the outer part. I'm going to start with the outer part. It's called the cuticle. The cuticle is the tough layer that protects what's inside. Also what's called the cortex, okay? So that's after the cuticle, it comes the cortex. Now I'm just going to put a diagram there so that you see what I mean. Cortex is the thickest layer of your hair, all right? It contains lots of fibers, proteins, and the pigment that gives your hair its color. So that is the cortex, okay? It's a thicker layer of your hair. There's also what's known as the medulla. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it properly. There's also what's known as the medulla. That is the inner part of your hair structure. Now the medulla is soft central part of the hair shaft. Now interestingly, thick hair, people who have thick hair, okay, contains large amounts of medulla. All right, people with fine hair, you might find they almost have none of the medulla, right? Cuticle, cortex, and then the medulla. So the things that we do to our hair, like maybe it might be washing, styling, blow drying, those things can damage the outer layer of your hair shaft, which is the cuticle. So when the cuticle is damaged, it will have cracks, going to expose the inside part of the hair shaft, which is the cortex or even the medulla. You have to protect that cuticle for it to protect what's inside. I'm going to come now with why you need to use coconut oil, or why your hair hates coconut oil. It actually happens when your hair is wet. So when your hair is wet, the cortex part is the one that swells up when your hair is wet. The scales are pushed up, okay? So they are open like this when your hair is in a wet state, okay? So whenever you wash your hair, whenever water is touching your hair swells up. That is that cortex. It swells up and opens up the scale of your hair. This makes wet hair prone to damage, and so it's much safer to comb your hair when it's dry other than when it's wet, because when it's wet, when you take a comb, you're just ripping through that cuticle, because it's not like down, it's up. okay? It's swelling up. So when you take a comb and try to comb that hair, it's going to damage the cuticle of your hair, leaving cracks in your cuticles, and then you're going to actually damage the cuticle, whereby things are just getting into the cortex of your hair without having protection from the cuticle. That's why it's very important, you guys, that you understand these things. So where is the coconut oil going to come in? Coconut oil actually helps to prevent protein loss. What it does, when you apply the coconut oil on your hair, it fills up in the hair shaft, it fills up your hair. When you want to use water to moisturize your hair, it's not getting in. Coconut oil fills up or takes up the space in your hair. Coconut oil is hydrophobic, which means that it repels water. Now, which is actually good in another sense. Your hair, when it gets a lot of water, that's when the damage is gonna come from, because your hair expands and it contracts, expands and it contracts. When your hair continuously do this, it wears on the cuticle. Coconut oil, when you're using it, it will strengthen your hair, okay? It's actually going to prevent the protein loss in your hair, making your hair stronger, because it's a penetrating oil that really gets in your hair. I want to do a demonstration now. So this is what happens when you use coconut oil. This is a jar, right? Now when you use coconut oil, this is what happens. I have another jar. This is coconut oil. It's getting in. It's getting in. It's getting in. It's getting in. You are trying to moisturize your hair, putting water or spraying water to your hair. This is the hair shaft. This is coconut oil. When you're trying to moisturize your hair, the water is not going to get in because it's filled up with the coconut oil. Now the coconut oil actually repels water. It actually prevents water from getting into your hair. That's why you find most of the time that your hair is dry after using coconut oil. Well, in another sense, it's good. In another sense, it's bad. The reason why I'm saying it's good is because when coconut oil repels water from your hair, as I've said, water can actually eventually damage your hair because it weighs so much on the cuticle. When your hair expands and contracts, it's going to weigh down the cuticle of your hair. So when you actually use something that repels water from getting in, your hair is going to be stronger and stronger because the cuticle is not going to be damaged, okay, in the long run. Do you understand? If you understand, comment below and say I understand. So if you're a low porosity girl, okay, low porosity, the cuticles are slightly closed, they're not open, they're slightly closed, which is a good thing because you don't want your cuticles to be like open like that. So it's good for your cuticles to be slightly closed so that the cuticle is actually protecting the inner cortex of your hair. Washing and styling and using these blow dryers can eventually damage the proteins in your hair, okay, making it weak and damaged, making the proteins that makes up the hair cortex to be damaged. But the reason why you must start using coconut oil is because coconut oil actually helps to strengthen the cortex of the hair from within. Do you understand, guys? If you understand, comment below and say I understand. It actually helps to prevent protein loss. So it's not good to use it as a long term. The reason why your hair is dry when using coconut oil, because it takes up the space, it fills up the hair shaft, and you cannot get anything in. But the best way to use coconut oil is to use it as a pre-poo. When you use coconut oil as a pre-poo treatment or as a hot oil treatment, what it actually does, it fills up the hair shaft, fills up the cortex of your hair, repelling water. So when you're washing your hair, your cortex is not going to expand that much. There's no weariness there with your hair. So it's best to use coconut oil as a pre-poo mask, and then you go on ahead and shampoo, because water is not really going to damage the hair that much, because coconut oil has already taken up the space and filled in your hair before you wash it. Now if you feel like it dries out your hair, that's what you can do. Use it as a pre-poo, as hot oil treatment, and then you go on ahead and shampoo, and then you deep condition. All right, and also you can also mix up your coconut oil with other oils as well, but it actually helps to prevent protein loss, not hair loss. So coconut oil helps to prevent protein loss in your hair, which is so important, because we do a lot to our hair. We comb it when it's wet, which is a no-no, because it can damage the cuticles of your hair, leaving it open. So that's why you find a lot of people face split ends, hair that tangles easily because of that, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and bye for now.